Is it going? Oh, okay.
Okay, it's going.
Here we go.
Morning.
Hello.
Okay,
Almost all
so everybody but Chris is here apparently, but I'll leave that in the description. So we'll just go ahead and start with the book questions.
So,
Which is-
what did Posh find has been lost on today's students in his 20 years as a professor?
Oh man, I should have refreshed on the reading
Yeah.
a week
Yeah.
ago. What was it? Was it patience?
What was the question again?
What was it that was lost on students or students don't have that they used to, I guess. And I could have swore that it was patience, but I could be wrong about that.
Rights come with responsibilities. It's a strange concept to them.
Okay.
So if you have rights, that means you also have like the responsibility.
Having them
rights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like with the we should probably it's kind of controversial right now because it happened yesterday.
I just noticed that was there. Okay, so with with rights come responsibilities, and sometimes people don't see that they have to fulfill those responsibilities with the rights that they take. So moving on,
Like
or did you have more down?
The students, they seem like entitled, I guess, to him. Like they want their rights without having like anything. Yeah, any responsibility.
Okay, so what did Posh say he wanted on his tombstone?
It's a very happy thing to.
I wouldn't want to think about that.
No.
Well, at least he can decide.
True.
That is true.
Facing one's
I mean,
mortality
you
is
can.
something that everybody will have to do at some point in their lives, but
Yeah,
generally most people don't start doing it for, quite some time, or at least until they find out they have terminal cancer.
True.
Yeah. Where is it?
Which chapter was it?
That was chapter
There was a lot of chapters.
Yeah, we had a
They
lot of
went by
chapters.
really fast.
56.
Where the heck?
We're struggling.
I don't
Alright,
even
well,
see it.
Let's see here. Someone asked me
We'll
what I want on my
take-
tombstone.
wait,
I
I
replied,
was looking. Randy Posh. He lived 30 years after terminal. Wow. After
Well,
a
I mean,
terminal diagnosis.
that'd be pretty nice if you
7.
could put on your tombstone that you lived
He just
so
walked
many
by again.
years after a terminal diagnosis. So I was gonna ask what everyone else would want on their tombstone, but I guess we'll skip that
I
one for
think
now because
I
that is a
wanna
bit
be
morbid.
cremated.
Want to be cremated? Okay.
I don't know.
I want someone to sprinkle me inside canes.
Oh my god.
Put you on a batter and have your family eat your ashes.
What?
Wow.
Okay.
All that.
That's a morbid.
Yeah, I know.
Sprinkle me in a blood.
The back and the breading.
Okay.
And we're gonna crop that out. Just crop that whole
Gotta
part
crap.
out.
No, this is going right to YouTube after this.
I
do not have time to edit.
Perfect.
What surprising thing did Posh do during his lecture?
61. Yeah.
We skipped all the way to
Wow.
61.
No, it's chapter 60.
60?
60.
Okay.
61.
No.
Oh, I was
0.
looking at the one down there. I'm an idiot. Jeez.
What was the question again?
What was the surprising thing he did during his lecture?
Was that his thing with, he brought Jay out on stage?
Jai.
I keep wanting to say Jai. I know it's Jay, but every time I read it, I still see Jai.
I saw Jai.
It is Jai.
It's Jai.
It literally
Jai.
says like the first
It's
time
Jai.
he says her name, it's Jay.
Same shit.
Jai. Sad.
Jai. Oh, yeah. Birthday.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
brought
Oh,
her birthday.
he had everybody sing happy birthday to
Yeah.
her. Brought her out on stage and then
Yeah.
the birthday thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, last one.
Happy death to me. Happy birthday to you. Let's make
Dear
this
Jai.
fun.
J, Jai, same shit.
What did Posh say his final speech was about?
That's 61. It's like the last chapter.
Yeah.
The
Get out of
dreams
here,
will come to
acknowledgements.
you.
dreams. It
Yeah.
seems like the entire theme of the book was ultimately, you know, you
Behind
can
dreams.
achieve really whatever you want as long as you're willing to work
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
No matter what gets in your way, including cancer.
Yeah.
And
30
while
years.
it did inevitably take him, he got a lot done between seemingly the time that he was
wrote a
originally
whole book.
diagnosed before. You know, he got the book out. He did his lecture. He did quite a bit,
Yeah.
and I'm sure Jay was
Try.
Jai was really pissed off at him about it, but
Because he's dying, but no.
he did it. He did it anyway,
Wanted
So,
to leave a legacy
what's
for
the
his
extra
children.
and he did.
So if you guys were to make a last speech, what would it be on?
Don't.
Don't fuck up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Be a
the,
mistake.
Let's go.
all the stuff that I did, don't do that. Do everything the exact opposite of how I did it.
Pretty much.
I think I'd do it on like stuff that I've learned,
Yeah.
like through like life lessons.
If you fuck
Don't
up,
retreat
do it
into
again.
a shell middle school because you'll have a very hard time breaking out of it.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's basically what I did.
Was that really the question that we're supposed to spend 15
No,
minutes
no,
on?
I
or-
was just asking.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was a good question.
Okay, think of conflicts in your life. Are you more of a fight, flight, or freeze person when dealing with conflict? Discuss and give examples.
All of the above.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the situation because I've
Yeah.
definitely had
Yeah.
things where like I literally just freeze. Also, I've had times where I just like run the fuck away. So
Honestly.
I don't really.
Mm.
I'm not really a fighter, so I'd say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well-
definitely not a fighter.
Not a
How
fighter.
about you,
Me?
Makhi?
I do fight.
You're not even in the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need,
My
you
shoulder
need to
is-
scooch over some.
Yeah, your
Get-
shoulder
get the
is.
shot.
But, yeah.
It's situational, I guess, for me between fight or flight. I think physical confrontation, I have a tendency to go into fight. But
That's
when
what
it
a physical
when it comes to,
confrontation
like,
is.
emotional conflicts,
Correct.
I do tend to shy away from emotional conflicts. I just will shut down. I'll want to be left alone. I will just remove myself from the situation.
Yep.
So it's
Sounds about right.
very situational, depending on what I will do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Like, if I'm forced to, I will fight, but
If I don't have to,
yeah, if I don't have to, I don't wanna.
then I'm gone. Alright.
Well, we still got like 10 minutes, so keep going.
Alright, well, think of like a specific situation
Hmm.
with one of these: fight, flight, or freeze.
Emotional conflicts, I'll like
Mm.
just like shut down all emotion, just go stone face.
Really?
Pretty much.
I'm actually really good at that.
I just talked through it.
I was crying.
I laugh. I have like.
Oh, I
nervous-
do.
I
I have,
started-
yeah,
Like
yeah.
recently, nervous laughing.
Well,
It
when that
stresses me
guy like came and busted in my room
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I literally just froze. Like I could have just like
It's like-
started fighting,
Yeah.
but I literally
I
just
know.
froze and I was like,
What the hell you doing here?
So he like busted in my room and like insisted that it was his room, and I was like,
No.
the bedding is pink, like it's not your room, and so I just froze and I didn't know what to do.
How do you know how he lives?
Maybe I
You're
have no
right.
idea. But so I froze when everyone else was like, you should have hit him, you should have done this, you should have yelled at him. I'm like, well, I froze, so
No, you definitely should not have hit him.
No.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
That
No,
would not have gone well.
No,
No.
that would have ended very badly.
yeah. I'm like, let me just hit some
It'd be a group of five.
intoxicated man and just see how that goes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Rihanna.
Bad ideas.
I come to class with a black eye. That'll be
It's
fine.
like, I didn't freeze. It's
Yeah.
like covering the eye.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, so I think we all agree it
Sunglasses.
depends on the
Situation.
It depends
It's
on the
always
situation,
situational.
yeah.
And that's why nobody's limited to just like one act of fight, flight. There's actually supposed to be 5 actual responses. It's
Yeah.
like fight, flight, freeze, flop,
Cry.
and I can't remember friend.
Oh, true.
Phone a friend.
Hey,
Well, you know, there are.
I need
If you
come
get
and
put
kill
in
this
an incredibly
person.
hostile situation, one of the
know, like-
responses is to try and friend the attacker so
'Cause
that
then
they
they
don't
won't
attack
have to-
you.
Kill me.
So it's
Makes sense.
But hey, I like
Like if I'm in a hostage, I'm gonna be like, I'll help you.
Yo, like most anime.
Here, here.
Just
Most
give me the gun.
anime
That's
ever.
my phone.
Get him out.
well, friend. I mean, that could even just be humanizing yourself. So I know a tactic, and a lot of people do it. I think subconsciously, when they're being threatened by someone, especially physically, they'll do the whole "I have a family, I have kids."
Yeah.
Yep.
If attackers,
Empathy.
when they can see someone as not a person, that's when they're
That's what
at their
makes it
most
easy.
dangerous.
Yeah.
It's easy on them if they don't think that you are a person.
Yeah.
With that.
So to humanize yourself would make it harder on them to continue acts of violence.
That's a good idea.
Sometimes.
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 Well, it depends
Not
on.
criminal
Unless-
minds.
Yeah.
I love criminal minds.
Well, most of those are filled with sociopaths who don't understand right from wrong and don't see people as people.
Usually.
They don't empathize with pain. They don't understand anybody else's pain, and so it's easy for them to inflict pain.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was so.
Wait, what happened?
That was my
Did you
neck.
hear that?
Cracking.
That was your
Yeah, that
whole
was my
neck.
neck cracking.
Nope. I already cracked it.
Anybody else got a specific example?
I'm trying to think of one.
I had one, but I lost it as soon as I cracked my neck. I wonder if that got caught up on the camera. If that got caught on camera.
You have to watch to find out.
Like you could hear it, just like a nice.
Well,
Um,
that was the only question that you really.
What other?
I had one.
Okay.
I have an idea.
But I don't remember
worry.
it.
Okay. She has an idea.
I'm mad.
Look it up.
No, I'm gonna.
Alright, well, I was gonna ask if there are any.
All these people are
Any
just like
lessons?
walking around outside. It's-
Happens a lot. You get used to it. Any lessons that you've taken or learned from the book? Anything that you'll take to heart?
His lecture.
The brick wall.
Very specific. Any particular example that was meaningful to you in any way?
Well, I think like the whole, like how he wanted to like make the lecture and his wife was like, no, like don't do that. Like spend time with me. I think I'd never like thought of it from the perspective of her because it's like usually people are like, oh, like do this, but she's the one who has to live her whole life without him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess it's kind of, I mean, I agree with both ways. Like he should do what he wants with his life, but also like it's kind of shitty that like she now has to live her whole life without her husband. So
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I would
So
just, if I ever got sick, I would see it as a perspective of not, oh, poor me, but like poor other people that I'm leaving behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to find out whether or not. I mean, it's been some time, I think, since Posh has passed away. So I wonder if Jai thinks that it was worth it. If she looks back on it and says, "Yes, I'm glad he did that," or
Probably
if
burned the book.
she looks back and says, "I really wish he had spent more time."
Surprisingly.
Because now that he's been gone for so long, we still have, the last lecture, the actual lecture, and the book
this
as
is
a
torn
legacy
up.
left behind that she can always look back on and something that for her to show her kids. The whole reason he did it to begin with, I think. So I wonder if she still regrets that he did it.
I think if I was her, I wouldn't. Like at first I might be upset, but like now you see like the book became really big and like he actually made like an impact and
Yeah.
so I don't
Be
think I'd
proud
be
of
mad
him.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
studying his book.
Yeah.
This
I
torn
mean,
up
it has
piece
to
of
mean
sh-
something if we're studying in college, but
This torn up piece of shit.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah. Looks battered on the outside, but on the inside, still battered, but
That's why I
it
just
has a
did
good
a
message.
copy.
It should be brown pages.
Yeah, just like
Well,
like shit.
papyrus.
Alright,
What time is it?
15 minutes almost. We're almost there.
Just smile.
Get about 5 more minutes out.
Play us off, Johnny.
What was your idea, Jenny?
That was the idea.
That was the idea. Oh, okay.
well
Final flight.
that's what I said because we said what did we learn from it and I said
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. That
yeah.
was your idea. I'm sorry.
so mine was about
Still early for me, apparently.
it's early for me. So now you guys
Yeah.
have to share what you learned because that's what I learned.
I have one. Yeah. that would like stuck with me was you can achieve your dreams if you try.
Yeah.
Like I've always been lazy,
Why?
so what? Don't laugh at me. That's
Hey, that's my achievement too. Part 2.
it's just like yeah, like if you want something, you can get it if you want it.
You gotta take it.
Want something,
Take it.
take it. But if you don't want it,
Don't wait.
It'll if you don't want it enough, it's
Wait.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are too few people in life who actually have things fall into their laps. So for
Must be
the
nice.
rest of us out there, if you want something bad enough, you're gonna have to work for it,
Like college.
like
Mhm.
college.
For sure.
That just kind of fell into
Did it?
yeah,
How?
my stepmom.
She like forcing you,
No.
or oh, with the whole like she's taking care of your tuition thing.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Well, make
I
something
have
of it
to-
because not everybody gets that opportunity. Believe
Yeah.
me. So some years ago, like when I was growing up, my dad worked at Raytheon, and
Okay,
like
what? Hold up, pause. What the fuck is that?
Raytheon,
Yeah.
it's a military contracting company.
Oh.
They build and design missiles, mostly missiles and rockets. So he was making
Sounds fun.
lots of money
Like
and
$55.
flat out offered a full ride for me through college, and me being the
He
little
can adopt me.
well, no anymore. So I blew it off though. At the time, I didn't see the importance. I didn't see the need. I was like, I'm just fine on my own with
I
my
would
little
have just
shitty
taken the
McDonald's
money and
job.
told him I was going to college.
It doesn't work that way. You remember, I live here in Tucson, right?
You can move.
Also, the thing is, when things get handed to you like that, it's like you don't see how hard like some people have to work for it, so maybe you don't appreciate it as
Yeah.
much.
Well,
And then you abuse
Like
that.
if you're
what?
paying for it all on your own and you want to make something of it, like you respect it way more because it's your money going into it, not just someone else's.
Yeah.
Depends on the person because I failed on both of those fronts actually.
Yeah,
So
same,
I
actually.
started going to Pima with my parents' money, screwed that up. Then started going to Pima on my own money, still screwed it up, and then took like an additional 8 years off and screwed that up. And now here I am trying it again. Not screwing up this time though.
Round
Third
3.
time's the charm.
Third time is always the charm.
For me, it is.
Sometimes.
Mine's first.
Yeah.
All right, final thoughts.
What was the question again?
There wasn't a question.
It's,
I just
Final thoughts.
any lessons that you took from the book that you can apply to your life, or anything meaningful
Oh,
that you took from the book?
the brick wall.
The brick wall.
My brick wall is procrastination. As fuck.
Same.
It's very common.
Yeah. Working on that.
It's a big brick wall.
Knock it down.
Better, but I'm still working on that. Okay. That's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's
good
all
job,
right.
everybody.
Yes. We'll see you after class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
In
Hit
the
the-
same
Hit,
outfit.
hit the stop button.
I got the stop button. Boom.